Hey guys, welcome to webinar on September, the 24th, Monday here, start of the trading week. Someone chat in if you can hear me. Always want to do that, make sure I'm not talking to myself. Perfect, thanks Greg. So had some action, particularly the euro dollar, euro yen, those tanked a little bit. In the last couple hours, or last time I looked, they've been going back up. We are still, basically, my time right now is setting up this new office. We are all kind of moved in, and then one of the maintenance guys cut every single cable and TV cord we had going through all throughout the room. So we had Cox come in and basically set everything up, and then one of the maintenance guys decided it was a good idea to cut every single cable. So just a pretty annoying. Now we're trying to get Cox back out here and try to get them to expedite it so we can be fully moved over. So this morning I had to come and move all our cable stuff back in here and bring a computer so I can still be doing these webinars and we can still check our emails and do that sort of thing. So just kind of I don't know, not something you want to have happen, I guess you could say. But we're moving along and I can't do anything about it now. So, again, we're all moved into the new place, just we have that big setback. So if you're trying to get a hold of Steven and whatnot, he's still available, he's here. We just set up the last of all the desks, but we're basically just getting had to bring all our internet boxes, everything back. I just set that up today, and so if you're trying to contact Alicia or him, they've just got their emails kind of back going again because we didn't have internet for a short period of time and over the weekend. So big pain, but it is what it is, and we got to move on. So. Anywho, I brought up the scalping screen. I'm going to just be going over everything on the scalping screen today. I really haven't gone over much, over the scalping. I usually have the swing screen up, but we'll be doing the scalping today. I was scalping during the trade. The hour switched on the Euro USD. Should I stay in this trade as a swing trade? The daily is going down, so I guess it was a fade. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're scalping, and again, we're trying to play these, on multiple time frames. So if you're scalping and your hour started to turn, like I'll bring up the euro dollar next, like it did. It had to push down all through the night, and then it started to turn a couple hours ago. Yeah, if you're seeing a turn and Cobra breaks and you're scalping it, yeah, definitely a sign to probably get out of that. If you're looking at say a position and you're writing it, no, you're going to stay in until the daily, but you probably wouldn't want to be positioning trading the Euro USD right now, just given how our slope on that daily chart is. And again, I'll bring up the Euro USD in a second on the scalping screen, but yeah, you want to play that 5 minute into the hour. So if you're writing the hourly chart, I like to play it where I'm writing a 5 into the hour. So as long as my hour is still, coming off the top of the ocean, say, we're still upper ocean, we haven't hit the mean, I'll play this 5 minutes. So I'll ride these 5 minutes, for instance, long here, but I'll ride these 5 minute swings and get out on the 5 minute rather than writing a 5 minute into the hour and getting in and out on a 1 minute chart. So. But I'll bring that euro dollar up in a second here. Yeah, so the reason I want to bring this up is because we had a good push down over the last week or maybe even a little longer. And on the daily, the daily, not the weekly. The daily is coming off this bottom. So we saw this huge push up, caused this ocean to turn around, got to the top, came back across, and it set up for a pretty big, nice position / swing for today, I should say. So if you're looking for a position or a longer-term swing, this might be something that could possibly play out. And again, we already had a massive push-up this entire morning on this pound New Zealand. So don't know if I would jump in now. I'd wait for it to breathe on the hourly chart. Let's take it to the hour here. So it's, you know, it has this massive push-up coming in. Basically, here's when we opened this morning, right here on this bar. On this candlestick, I should say. Lower ocean, we had a pretty good push down. Probably it was a little more flat here. So this actually might have gotten you, you know, out if it was busting through the top, but kept running for another few hours. Now it looks like it might be finally starting to breathe on the hour. But once this comes back down here, potentially another long setting up on a swing or maybe even a shorter term position or a full position. Because that daily could possibly, you know, run for hopefully across the other ocean all the way to, you know, 2 or maybe even a little further. So there might be another couple hundred pips on a long play here. We'll just have to wait and see how that sorts out. I just wanted to bring this up. Again, I know this is a scalping chart, but on the longer term play here, either swing into tomorrow or even maybe later tonight during the Asian session when the Aussie markets, the Wellington markets in New Zealand and Singapore markets start to open up here. Hopefully we might get some movement. So that is the pound New Zealand. Let's go back to this hour. You can see these runs were pretty solid all through the night here. And it started coming back on the 23rd. So we opened yesterday around here, and it's just been going north ever since. So 1.8. It's different. It's different on they're set differently on depending on the chart. But everything you have in there, if you're looking at it, and say you're looking at the swing, it'll be slightly different from here. I wasn't going to talk necessarily a lot about swing or longer-term trading today. And the deviation of a 0.05 difference is not that large, but it's strictly set on, you know, for each individual time frame. So on a position, it's slightly wider than on a scalping on an hour chart. This is, I think, 0.05 smaller. I'm sorry. The deviation, if you're looking at a swing, it's around there. I think they're 1.8, 1.5, but it should be set on your screen, you know, how it should be. Yeah, so anyways, look for maybe another, you know, good couple hour push down on this this pound New Zealand on the hour. Then look for another possible in on a longer term play. Or just another little jet across the ocean. So maybe going into tomorrow. And we'll talk about this tomorrow and see kind of what culminated and if there was anything to trade or if it just kept plowing down to the downside. And again, if this starts going down and we break Cobra and we start getting a lot of green bars and high and low, don't, you know, force the action because it could be in for a possible turn. Or it's just stuck in a range here, but you don't want to get caught up here if it decides to come back to 196. You don't want to get caught at, you know, 196.70 or 196.80 on an hour push down. So wait until that Cobra breaks back to yellow. If it does actually push down and give us some red on Cobra and jump. So, and also you would want to wait for these bars on high and low to become blue again before you take another long play on it. Obviously, we're not going short, just given where we are on the daily. I just wouldn't be the smartest thing to do. And I'm talking about a swing or a position, not a scalp. So, whoops. I want to take it to my hour. So, and again, you'll see this on the fence, so you might get a piercing up here. But you haven't yet. I don't know if any of you guys caught any of that trade this morning, but there's definitely something there. Okay, so like I said, there was a turn coming in, you know, and we got a piercing on the hour. So Greg, if you were in that trade and you were scalping it and you saw that piercing, you know, come up, and before that we already had Cobra break, probably want to think about getting out, especially if you're in a short on a scalp. I mean, I wouldn't want to be doing any shorting at this level, given we're already down in lower ocean zone. Still could have culminated in something and gone, but it didn't and came back up, broke Cobra 4 hours ago, and it's starting to go back up. Probably will get a little fickle around here going into the Asian session, but wouldn't, you know, throw or bet on it just plummeting back down. We'll see what happens here. Oh, you're in a long. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, then once it broke, if you're in a long, you know, that's fine. Again, I know the day. And okay, so you're scalping. So obviously, we're not looking at the day period. So long play is okay. Only thing a little hesitant about, if I'm wrong, I don't like the slope on the ocean, but that's obviously came to this entire run down. So yeah, if you're up right now on that, I would continue to probably still be in the trade. Look at our 5 minute, and we can see that it broke Cobra. It's not really breathing that hard. It's just kind of going sideways and then continuing to go back up. Kind of going sideways, continuing to go back up. So definitely not a bad play, but just be aware of how that slope is. Ideally, we would want you know, this thing to stretch all the way back across to the top here, and that's another, you know, 40 pips or so. Doesn't have to do that though, of course. Yeah, if you're already up, you know, 18, or you get up to 25, 30, definitely wouldn't want to hold it and you know, have that come back to zero. Definitely want to trade that for a positive trade, so don't give any of that back. But yeah, not necessarily a bad trade if you're looking to scalp here. Came off the bottom. It pushed down so hard. I mean, this was coming in yesterday, which was right on this period right here, this candle, the first day on September 23rd here. And we've been pushing for, you know, I don't know, 12 hours straight, maybe even longer. And we just got in back to the upside. So it'll probably breathe. We'll see. But if this starts to remotely turn, and especially on the 5, I would monitor your 5 very a lot and see how that's acting. If it starts to, it might come just bounce up in a range up here, given the time of day. Still haven't had a piercing on the 1 minute, although you did over here, but you withstood that breath, and you caught a nice little run to the upside. So definitely you've been in it for quite some time, but not bad at all. And these are, you know, this is the difference in scalping. You don't have to wait for my daily to be perfect. You know, all you're really looking at is where is my hour, and then to play off the 5 minute with that hour. So to have this turn, and you can see it turn, you know, you are at the mean, but again, take into account how far you've run. Doesn't mean it can't continue to run to the downside, but probably was in for a breath and it breathed. Is it going to keep going? I mean, we'll see. Especially look at this next hour candle. If it's a really small body and you know, and you're sitting at the mean, and given the time of day, I would just monitor it very closely. So yeah. So this is the euro dollar. Look at the daily. Kind of talking about swing slash scalping on the scalp. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. So that was the euro dollar, and for a swing down to the short side on this, you know, if I were looking at it, the hour set up pretty good. The daily we hit that mean value, and it's still technically